guys, welcome back to my channel. This is me Tia. So today I'm here to show you guys a full face of Zay Beauty. Now if you don't know about Zay Beauty, where have you been? Especially if you're a Pakistani, because Zay Beauty is a Pakistani brand that has an amazing range of makeup. They have eyeshadow, they have lipsticks, they have face palettes, they have highlighters. You guys, their highlighters are amazing. So stay tuned if you want to see how their products perform. I am going to give you many little reviews along with me putting them on my face. So if you want to see how I created this look on my face, keep on watching. So I have just applied my base products, my foundation, my concealer. I have not set my base yet because we have a setting powder from this palette. I just take a brush, take some of the powder on this brush and just stipple it under my eyes first because I get a lot of creasing underneath my eyes, and I do have some cream products to dry, so I'm not going to powder down my whole face yet, just the T-zone area. So Zay Beauty has recently launched cream blushes and I've already tried them out so many times. I already love them. Here they are. I'm going to go with the shades Peach Lassi and Shahi Rose today. Just a dab on the cheeks. You guys, these are very pigmented. These are super creamy and they blend very easily, so you don't need to worry about getting harsh lines. You also don't have to be super quick about it. They are very easy to use. You can just use your fingers to blend them, but I don't like using my fingers. I love and prefer a stippling brush, so that's what I'm going to use. Now you guys, on itself this blush will last you a good 8 hours without fading, but once you set it with powder, this is not going anywhere. Like, this is going to stay on your face for as long as you want to keep it on. Now I always love to apply a little bit of blush on my chin and on my nose, but I don't like to overdo it, as in I'll never go with a stripe of blush on my nose. Now I'm just going to take my sponge and lightly blend the edges. Now I'm going to set the rest of my face with the same setting powder from this palette. I take the smallest amount possible of the powder. I do not like to use a lot of powder like baking. And if you're here from my Instagram, you will know that I like to do really long wear tests. So I have to make sure that I give my makeup a good chance. I'm not just going to put on creams on my face and then just go about my day because hot weather is going to melt your makeup off. Now I'm taking the contour shade from this palette and I'm going to contour my face very lightly. I don't want to go overboard, or maybe I do. I never know. This is such a nice, cool tone, very subtle shade. You can really build it up. It does not come too packed with pigment. When you're using a blush and a contour or even a bronzer, you do not want it to be super pigmented, otherwise it can look really patchy once you go to blend it. So I really like this powder. And this shade will suit most desi tones. And it is buildable, so it can get pretty dark, which might come off as a surprise because it does not look that dark once you first put it on. Especially if you use the amount that I'm using very little. It almost just looks like a shadow on my face, doesn't it? I'm not going to especially contour my nose or my forehead today. I'm just going to use the bronzer to add some depth and dimension, and the bronzer is in the same palette. I'm just picking up a very small amount. You know how people make really funny faces when they're doing their makeup? I make really angry, serious faces when I'm doing my makeup. So I hope I don't scare you guys away. I like to bronze up my forehead a little bit. One woman team. For my nose bronze, all I'm going to do is pick up the bronzer and just put it on my nose, like completely dab it all over my nose. Keep in mind that I have a very small amount on my brush, so it is not going to be like boom in your face brown stuff on my nose. So here we are all bronzed up. Now I'm going to put on the highlighter. Let me show you guys. This highlighter is amazing. So here I am with the highlighter. This is their Chill highlighter, you guys. This is so sparkly. It is one of the most sparkliest highlighters that I've ever tried. This is not your traditional formula. This is something else. Just let me show you. It has a cream side and a powder side. These shades are so pretty, so different. Different in the sense that their formula is just amazing. Very sparkly. I love myself a good sparkly highlighter. The highlighter that is in this palette is also amazing. Like, let me just swatch it for you. I feel that this is a more universal shade. This will work on so many skin tones. This one, the shade Chill, is definitely a lot brighter and it will suit medium to fair skin tones. Why don't I do both? First I will apply the highlighter from the palette and then I'll top it off with the Chill highlighter. I love highlight, you guys. There is never too much highlight. I am picking up a very small amount because I never ever want to look cute. And this highlight does not enhance texture at all. It looks super natural, yet you can totally build it up to very blinding levels. On this side, I'll show you the Chill highlight. I'm only going to use the powder side of it because I have powder on my face and I do not like putting cream products over a powdered face. So this one is instantly more boom in your face because, as I said, it is a very sparkly highlighter. This one might be too much for some people, but you have to keep in mind that it is meant to be a very sparkly highlighter. They are not advertising it as a natural highlighter. I am putting so much highlighter on my forehead because I do not have a very prominent forehead, so I can get away with it. Maybe I can teach you guys how to highlight and contour your face in another video. Let me know if you're interested. Now I am going to add more blush from this palette. The blushes in this palette are amazing. The colors are so beautiful. You guys, this palette just fell out of my hands. So I'm just going to mix the two shades and apply them all over my cheeks. So Zay Beauty has this product. It is a brow pomade and a brow powder all in one. They are calling it a Browahhh. If you are Urdu speaking or you're from Pakistan, you will know that Wah is like Urdu for super, something like that. So Browahhh is a term for really amazing brows. I have the shade Islamabad here. You guys, this product is so versatile. I'm going to show you. You will be looking at this and be like, this is so dark and you have blonde hair. How is this going to work for you? Well, it is. It is super easy to use. I've had this for about a year and there's still so much in there, and you guys, I use it almost once a week. It is still so creamy, so creamy. So I like to start at the tail and fill in any gaps that I might have. Now this brow gel has the most ideal brow gel formula that you could ever imagine. Like, it goes on super creamy, but it is not shiny or waxy in the slightest. It performs beautifully. Once you have it on, your eyebrows are not going to move all day long. It gives you enough time to blend it You know, some people really like that blown out brow look, so you can totally do that with it, but once it sets, it's there. And it gives you a lot of time to work with it. Something that I like to do is, I will take the powder side and use it to draw tiny hair strokes in the front of my brow. I hold my breath while doing makeup. Why do I do that? Does anybody else do it? Or is it just me? So this brow is all done. I'm going to do my other brow off camera and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so one of my eyes is done, and as you can see I went with a very natural, very soft look. No, not at all. I wanted to do a very natural look, but then this is what always happens. When I see a good blue shade, I just want to put it all over me. I just want to turn into a smurf. For priming my eyes, I have just applied the concealer that I applied underneath my eyes, which was Tarte Shape Tape. So starting with the eyeshadow, I am going to take the shade called Maria from the Moscow palette, and I'm going to apply it in my crease. Make sure there are no creases. I'm going to apply it in a rounded shape. The matte shades are so buttery, you guys. I'm in love with their formula. I wish they would make more colorful, more pastel shades, because I would love to see a pastel or a more very bright shade with this formula. This formula is just amazing. It is the perfect matte formula. Like, they are pigmented, they are buttery, but they are not overly pigmented, and they do not have a lot of fallout at all. They actually do not have fallout. Like you can see, there is no shade falling down on my face. But I am somebody who will just like dig in the palette, because I like to be very dramatic sometimes. My palettes look like a mess, and still there is like minimal fallout. Now I'm going to take the shade Holy from their Saloni palette. It is this one, and just blend it in with the first shade. Holy is slightly warmer than Maria. This is the lightest tone that you get from both palettes, and this is just perfect for desi tones. Like, if you are Pakistani and you only buy international makeup, you might struggle to find a shade that is this perfect for your crease work. This will even be a good brow bone shade for people who have a darker complexion than me. I'm not super fair, I'm not super dark, I guess I have light medium skin. I'm always the first, third or fourth shade in any brand. Like in Maybelline, I use the shade 128. So you can just have an idea of what my skin tone is. Now I'm going to take the shade Batuni from Saloni palette and just apply it on the outer V. And I'm also going to apply it on the inner part because I'm doing a halo eye. Like, this is such a dark shade and there's absolutely no fallout on my face. Now I'm taking the shade Mariam from Moscow palette and just blend the edges of the darkest brown. Now I'm going to take the shade Iman from the Moscow palette and I'm going to put it almost all over my lid, just leaving a very small gap in the middle. I'm going to tap it off because shimmers can have a fallout, especially when I load up my brush. I made the mistake of not tapping my brush off when I was doing my left eye and I had fallout, but when I'm tapping off the brush, there is no fallout. The best thing about these shimmers is that they blend into the matte so beautifully. Like, you know how sometimes you put on a shimmer shade and it just won't blend into the matte shades? These ones do not do that at all. Now I'm just taking the shade Maria and applying it on my lower lid. Then I'm going to take the darkest brown shade, which is, yes, it is in this palette, and it is called Mariam. And I'm just going to smoke out the lash line with it. Now I'm going to take the lightest blue silver shade called Amna, and I'm going to make a spotlight in the middle. Guys, I am applying these shimmers with a dry brush. I am not using a wet brush to intensify their color, and they are still super pigmented. For the inner corner highlight, I'm going to take the shade Aisha from the Moscow palette. This is such a beautiful highlight shade, you guys. So beautiful. I'm also going to apply it on my brow bone. So this is what the eyeshadow looks like.
Chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight.
Now let's move on to lips. Now Zay Beauty has two type of lip formulas. One is their Moscow liquid lipstick, which is a matte, and then they have lip pashmina. I'm just going to swatch them here. So this is the lip pashmina. You can see how it has a very subtle finish and it does not dry down completely. And then we have the Moscow. I applied the shade Tulki of the lip pashmina, and now I'm taking the shade Arfa and just, it may look shiny at first, but this is going to dry down very matte. Guys, these are super pigmented. They last all day long. These are one of my favorite liquid lip formulas ever, and you get such a large tube. Like, this is going to last you a whole lifetime. Now I'm just going to mix these two shades and put them on my lips. I'm not going to use lip liner because these shades are pretty pigmented. Now I'm going to take the shade Alpha and just apply it in the middle. Now let me show you guys a close-up of how everything looks. Alright guys, so that was a full face of Zay Beauty. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this look that I created. If you like my video, please do actually give it a like, and if you want to see more from me, do subscribe and follow me on my Instagram, which is at Tia's Glam Lounge. I am going to mention everything that I use on my face down in the description box. Always leave your thoughts in the comments. I really love reading your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.